Hello, my name is Dr. Bill Campbell. I'm a professor of exercise science and a member of the Clean Health Academic Advisory Board and a director of the Performance and Physique Enhancement Laboratory at the University of South Florida. Today I want to give you a little mini lecture about fat loss, about dieting. So I've spent many years researching fat loss, the best types of diets, how to diet, how long should diets be. And what I've come to, the conclusion that I've come to, would surprise a lot of people. Dieting is not a good thing. I don't want to encourage people to go on a diet haphazardly. There are a lot of negative things that occur with dieting. Let me just name some of them. If you're trying to optimize your physique, dieting works against you for building muscle. When you go on a diet, even a moderate diet, like a 20% caloric deficit, it causes muscle protein breakdown to increase. It has the opposite effect too. To build muscle, we have to increase muscle protein synthesis. But dieting actually suppresses muscle protein synthesis. Some other negative adaptations of dieting is it suppresses our metabolic rates. And if you have a slower metabolism, that makes it harder to maintain your weight loss. It makes it harder to continue with weight loss. The other thing that dieting does, which is no surprise, it makes you hungry. And in my case, I get grouchy when I get hungry. So nobody's happy if I'm not dieting correctly. So my research has really focused over the years on dieting appropriately, or what should we be doing when we diet. And I've come up with a few principles to help you if you decide to go on a diet. Now I do want to say that the research that I do focuses on people who are fit, who are trying to lose a little bit more fat. So while an obese individual may find benefits with what I'm saying, I'm applying this more to people who are not obese that are trying to lose weight, people who already exercise. And one of the primary goals is preventing all of those problems that I just said. That's one of the principles of what I'm going to share with you. So let's just talk about three main principles. The first principle is don't crash diet. Do not decrease your calories to near nothing. If you're starving all the time, you're going on a crash diet for a long period of time, that is a sure recipe to suppress your metabolism. And I can assure you that you will likely gain all of that weight back plus additional weight. So we don't want to crash diet for long periods of time. The second principle is to not lower protein intake when dieting. Don't decrease protein. When you decrease protein, we actually lose more muscle mass and we lose more of our metabolism. If you keep protein high when dieting, it helps preserve muscle mass, it helps preserve our metabolism, and protein is the best nutrient to make you feel full. One of the reasons that people fail on their diets is they simply are too hungry to stay on the diet. So we want to do everything we can to not be hungry, and protein is our friend when dieting. The other thing that we want to do is resistance training. Resistance training when we're dieting helps us maintain our muscle mass. It helps keep our metabolisms elevated. So those are the different areas that we want to focus on when dieting. Let me just review them. Don't go on a crash diet, or another way of saying that is don't reduce your calories by an extreme amount, especially for a long period of time. The second thing is don't reduce your protein when dieting. Try to keep that high. I like to recommend that people keep their protein as high as a gram per pound of body weight, or 2.2 grams per kilogram of body weight. Now, if that's too high for you to follow, that's okay. We just want you to have higher protein than what you would normally be doing when dieting. Doesn't have to be that high, but if you can get it to that high and do that comfortably, that's what I recommend. And then the final thing that I talked about was resistance training. If you can resistance train a few days per week, that helps maintain your muscle mass, which helps us maintain our metabolisms when dieting. If you follow these things, you offset a lot of those negative consequences that I mentioned earlier. This was a little mini lecture on my approach and principles to effective dieting.